It's 9 o'clock on a Tuesday night, and you make yourself a promise. One episode, just one, because your alarm is set for 6:30 and you're already so tired the couch feels like it's slowly swallowing you. You press play. The next time you look at the clock, it's 11:52. The screen is asking, "Are you still watching?" which feels less like a question and more like a judgment. You turn the TV off. Fine, a little late, but fine. You brush your teeth, get into bed, and in the dark, your hand finds your phone, just to check one thing. The next time you look at the clock, it's 1:47 in the morning. And here's the detail that matters. You're not even having fun. You're scrolling past things you don't care about, posted by people you barely remember following, eyes half closed, thumb moving on its own, alarm less than 5 hours away. You are exhausted. You were tired at 9, you're more tired now. Sleep is right there, free, available, and the exact thing your body has been begging for all night. So why won't you take it? That's what this video is about. By the end, you'll know the 3 pieces of machinery that were working against you tonight. One hiding inside the show, one hiding inside the screen, and one hiding under your thumb. And then you'll meet the 4th reason, the real one, the one that isn't machinery at all, isn't in your phone, and has a name that sounds like it belongs in a crime story: revenge. Because what you were doing at 1:47 a.m. wasn't laziness, it was payback. Stick around. Once you see it, 1 a.m. never looks the same again. Let's start by giving the thing you did a name. In 2014, a researcher in the Netherlands named Floor Kroos noticed that the biggest cause of sleep loss in modern life had somehow never been studied. Not insomnia, not stress, just not going to bed. She surveyed more than 2,000 adults and gave the behavior a name: bedtime procrastination. Going to bed later than you intended with nothing stopping you. No crying baby, no deadline, no emergency. Just you, a clock, and a decision you keep not making. And her data turned up something that should change how you talk to yourself about this. The people who delayed sleep the most weren't the people who cared about sleep the least. They wanted to sleep. They knew they'd feel terrible tomorrow. They fully intended to go to bed at a reasonable hour and then didn't. Researchers call that space between what you plan and what you do the intention-behavior gap. And for sleep, it's a canyon. Which means the standard advice, just go to bed earlier, have some discipline, is answering the wrong question. These aren't people who don't know better. They're people who know better and stay up anyway. Something is beating their intentions every single night. 3 somethings, actually. Here's the first one. Machinery number 1 lives inside the show itself. In 1927, a young psychologist named Bluma Zeigarnik was watching waiters in a busy Berlin cafe, and she noticed something odd. A waiter could hold a huge, complicated order in his head perfectly, right up until the bill was paid. The moment the order was finished, it fell out of his memory almost completely. Finished business gets filed away. Unfinished business stays lit up. So she brought it into the lab. She gave people simple tasks and interrupted half of them partway through. Later, the tasks people remembered best, by a wide margin, were the interrupted ones. Your brain, it turns out, keeps an open file for anything incomplete, and it keeps that file warm until it gets closure. Psychologists now call it the Zeigarnik effect. Now think about where every episode of your show ends. Not after the mystery is solved, not at a calm, satisfying pause. It ends 3 seconds after the door opens, the phone rings, the villain smiles. That's not an accident of storytelling. That is the storytelling. Writers structure episodes backwards from that cliff, because a cliffhanger is an unfinished task, engineered on purpose, and your brain physically does not want to close the season with the file still open. One more episode was never really a decision you made. It's an itch someone wrote. But an itch only wins if scratching it costs you nothing, which brings in machinery number 2, the 5-second countdown. In 2012, Netflix rolled out a feature called post-play. You know it even if you've never heard the name. The credits shrink into a corner, a thumbnail of the next episode appears, and a timer starts counting down. 5, 4, 3. It looks like a convenience. It's actually one of the most effective behavior changes in the history of television because it flipped a default.
It used to be that doing nothing meant the show ends. After autoplay, doing nothing means the show continues. If you want to stop, you have to act. Find the remote, aim it, press the button, assert yourself against a moving countdown. And at midnight, running on fumes, your brain reliably picks whichever option requires zero effort. The path of least resistance used to lead to bed. Now it leads to episode 7. If that sounds like an accident, listen to Netflix's own CEO. In 2017, Reed Hastings said out loud with the design already implied, "We actually compete with sleep, and we're winning." Not competing with HBO, not with YouTube, with sleep. Yours. So the show leaves a file open and the player removes the exit. But notice, at 11:52, you actually beat both of those machines. You turned the TV off, you stood up, you went to bed, and then you picked up your phone and met the strongest machine of the three. Back in the 1950s, a psychologist named B.F. Skinner spent years finding out which patterns of reward make a behavior stick hardest. Reward a pigeon every time it pecks a button, and it pecks politely. But reward it randomly, sometimes after 3 pecks, sometimes after 30, no way to predict which, and the pigeon becomes a machine, pecking thousands of times, unable to stop because the very next peck might be the one. That schedule is called variable ratio, and it's the engine inside every slot machine ever built.
It's also the engine inside your feed. Every flick of your thumb is a pull of the lever, mostly nothing. An ad, a stranger's lunch, a post you've already seen, but every so often, a jackpot. A message, a video that actually makes you laugh out loud at 1 in the morning. You can't predict which pull pays out, and that's precisely why you can't stop pulling. And unlike a casino, your feed never closes, by design. In 2006, an interface designer named Asa Raskin invented infinite scroll. No more clicking to the next page, the content just keeps coming forever. Years later, Raskin publicly said he regretted building it and described designs like it as behavioral cocaine. Because that old page break he deleted was quietly doing something important. It was a stopping point, a little moment that asked you a question. Do you actually want more? Infinite scroll doesn't answer that question for you. It deletes the question. You never decide to keep scrolling at 1 a.m., you just never get asked to stop. So there's your night. Fully explained. A cliffhanger holds the file open, autoplay flips the default, the feed pays out like a slot machine in a casino with no closing time. Mystery solved, right? Blame the apps. Turn off autoplay, delete the worst offenders, put the phone in another room. Done. Except, it doesn't work. Not fully. And this is where the whole story turns. Because plenty of people have done everything on that list. Killed autoplay, deleted the apps, bought an actual alarm clock so the phone can sleep in the kitchen. And a week later, they're lying in the dark at 1 a.m., wide awake on purpose, reading the label on a lotion bottle. If the machinery were the whole story, removing the machinery would fix it. It doesn't because the machinery only explains why you keep scrolling. It has never explained why you refuse to sleep. For that, you need a phrase that came from the other side of the world. Around 2020, an expression was spreading on Chinese social media, born among young office workers, many of them living under a schedule called 996, 9 in the morning to 9 at night, 6 days a week. In June 2020, a journalist named Daphne K. Lee translated the phrase in a post that went viral overnight because tens of millions of people who had never heard it instantly recognized themselves in it. The translation? Revenge bedtime procrastination. Staying up late not because you weren't tired, but because the day gave you no time that was yours, so you steal it back from the night. Revenge against the day. Sit with that, and then look at your own schedule. Your morning belongs to the alarm and the commute. Your work hours belong to your job. Your evening belongs to dinner, dishes, errands, emails, and everyone who needs something from you. The first minute that belongs to nobody but you might not arrive until 10 or 11 at night. And what are you supposed to do with that minute? Close your eyes and hand it straight to tomorrow, which is, of course, already spoken for. Seen from there, staying up stops looking like a failure of discipline. It looks like a protest.
Going to sleep means signing off on the day, agreeing that it's over, and this day was never yours to begin with. That's the thing you're actually resisting at 1 a.m. The scrolling was never the point. Half the time it isn't even enjoyable, and you know it. What you're defending in the dark isn't the content, it's the ownership. One stolen hour of freedom, paid for with interest tomorrow. And that's exactly why just have more discipline has never once worked on this. Discipline is the day's voice, the voice of alarms, calendars, and obligations. At 1 a.m., you're not failing to obey that voice. You're finally off duty from it. And some quietly stubborn part of you would rather be exhausted and free than rested and owned. Now, go back to that bedroom at 1:47 a.m. Same scene, new eyes. The show left a file open in your head. The player flipped the default on you. The feed paid out just often enough to keep your thumb moving. And underneath all three machines, the real engine the whole time, a person taking back stolen time the only way they knew how. You weren't being weak. In a strange, sideways way, you were standing up for yourself, just at the worst possible hour at the worst possible price. And it's a price a lot of people are paying. About 1 in 3 American adults sleeps less than 7 hours a night.
So here's what you actually do about it. 3 moves, and notice that none of them is try harder at midnight. First, pay the revenge forward. If the real engine is a day with no time that's yours, the fix has to happen before the night. Carve out 30 minutes earlier in the evening that genuinely belong to you. Not yours, not the feed by default, but the thing you would actually choose. The book, the game, the hobby, the long shower, the absolutely nothing. Guard it like an appointment. Because if the day already contained an hour that was yours, the night has nothing left to avenge. You can't win the 1 a.m. fight at 1 a.m. You win it at 8. Second, put the stopping points back. The machines beat you by deleting your exits, so rebuild them. Turn autoplay off so that continuing is the thing that takes effort. Pick a last call time and set one gentle alarm for it, not to force you to sleep, but to do the one thing infinite scroll was built to prevent, make you consciously answer the question, do you actually want more? Sometimes the honest answer will be yes. Fine, then you're choosing it, and choosing feels completely different from drifting. Third, and this one comes with a study attached, stop punishing yourself the next morning. In 2010, researchers Michael Wall and Timothy Peichel followed students who had procrastinated studying for an exam and found something surprising. The students who forgave themselves for it procrastinated less on the next exam than the ones who beat themselves up. Guilt doesn't reform you. Guilt just stresses you, and stress is exactly the thing tomorrow night scrolling will be trying to escape. That morning after shame spiral isn't the cure for revenge bedtime procrastination, it's the fuel. So, tomorrow night, 9 p.m., couch, remote in hand. You'll feel the pull, same as always, but this time you'll know what it is. A file your brain wants closed, a countdown hoping you're too tired to object, a slot machine dressed up as a feed, and underneath it all, an old, stubborn alarm going off about ownership. A part of you insisting that somewhere in these 24 hours, there has to be a piece that's yours. That part of you is right. It's been right all along. It's just been collecting the debt at the worst possible hour. The engineers will keep engineering, and some nights they'll win anyway. That's fine. It was never a fair fight. But the revenge, that part you can retire. You don't have to steal your own time back at 1 a.m. anymore. You can claim it at 8, in the open, on purpose. You're not broken. You've just been fighting a nightly war for your own time, and now you know how to win it early enough to actually enjoy the peace.